Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Also, check out the website Homegrown with G. Cole to listen and for all things homegrown. We're also very interactive. Please follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook at MyGCole. This one is Quark. It's called Like I'm Gonna Lose You.
Hey, yeah. You never know when you might lose someone. So treat them right, you see me? I found myself dreaming in silver and gold, like a scene from a movie that every broken heart knows. We were walking on moonlight, and I pulled you close. A split second and you disappeared, and I was all alone. I woke up in tears with you by my side, a sigh of relief, and I realized we're not promised tomorrow. So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you, and I'm gonna hold you like we're saying goodbye. Wherever we're standing, I won't take you for granted, 'cause we never know when we will run out of time. So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. Love you like I'm gonna lose you, girl. In the blink of an eye, just a whisper of smoke, you could lose everything. The truth is we'll never know. So I'll kiss you longer, baby, every chance that I get. I'll make the most of each minute in love without regrets. Let's take our time to say what we want, use what we have before it's all gone, all gone. 'Cause no, we're not promised tomorrow. So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you, and I'm gonna hold you like we're saying goodbye. Wherever we're standing, I won't take you for granted, 'cause we'll never know when we will run out of time. So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is Quark. The artist is Quark, K-O-R-I-Q. If you haven't heard of Quark, trust me. Talented artist. Dr. Ocher is Jamaica, the son of legendary IRFM broadcaster, Mr. Bob Clark. We got a different vibe going on. I told them that last month we spoke to a lot of the musical legends, but this gentleman across from me is no stranger at all to your ears and to your eyes. One of the longest tenured on-air personalities at WAVS 1170. And if my accolades are short, just correct me. 8-time nominee, 2-time winner of the Reggae Soca Awards category for Radio Personality of the Year. All right, this is just what I could get on my thumb drive. There's a lot missing. Ladies and gentlemen, his colleague says he's a seasoned vet. The young people call him the OG. Representing the parish of Trelawney longer than you saying longer than Kimani Marley. I'm talking about Mr. John T. Welcome, sir.
Well, good evening. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me in a nice, comfortable studio.
I appreciate you coming. There's always something to learn, and I'm eager to learn. And I figure more or less, you know what, if there's some learning to be done, why not learn from those who do it and do it best?
It's, I wouldn't say it's funny, but to be called a legend, then I look back and say, my goodness, yes, I've been in broadcasting. This coming July the 17th is going to be 33 years since I've been at WAVS Radio. How the times go by.
33 years.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the longest serving broadcaster there.
Wow.
When I went to the station, it was called Radio Latino. Mm-hmm. And at the time, they only had English program from 6 a.m. until 2. Marie Garth, well-known broadcaster, she did from 6 until 10. Mm-hmm. And then I would take over from 10 and go until 2 in the afternoon. And that was it for the entire week. English. Everything was Spanish, French, and Creole.
Wow.
So we have come a far way.
A far, far, far away. So does that mean that you had to work on your Spanish back then too?
No, you know, unfortunately, I dropped Spanish when I was in high school.
You and me both.
Coming from third form, you had choices.
Right.
And then you got to be geography or Spanish, but I chose geography because I never thought that Spanish would have been important. If I knew at the time that I was migrated to the United States, I would have continued.
Especially South Florida.
But I never dreamt about migrating. So I never thought that Spanish would have been something of any kind of importance to me in terms of a language.
No, you can't drive to Miami without knowing something.
So it's unfortunate. But it became an English speaking station after a while, and we have done a lot. We have come a far way.
WAVS is the staple, is what I wanna say. It is. It's for lack of a better word, it's a standard bearer. You know, every medium, be it online, be it radio, FM, AM, whatever, there are standards. There's a torch bearer, there's a standard bearer, and there's everybody else. And we have our own audiences, we have our own niche and stuff like that. And I from just speaking to people, I remember when I just moved to the U.S. and people would talk about WAVS, and I'd sit in the parking lot on my lunch break and listen. You know, and if I came in a little early, I was listening to either you, I was listening to Winston Barnes, I was listening to, and I can see why people connect with it so much, because there's a genuine warmth and community is the word I want to use that comes from WAVS.
Well, what we actually did is to provide a format that is conducive to the Caribbean people who migrated, because you and I know the radio format in Jamaica,
right?
RJR, JBC, what is expected like throughout the day, especially a morning show, where you get the music, the news, the sports interviews, and so on and so forth. So when we got together WAVS Radio, when it became an all-English station, we said then we're Caribbean people, we're immigrants.
Right.
And this is what we are accustomed to. So we try to connect that Caribbean audience.
Right.
And it has been working.
Working. I think that's an understatement. It's been doing very.
I mean, we have been through some rough times, you
right?
know?
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Country's been through some rough times.
Yeah.
So I understand exactly what you mean, but we are very grateful for you. The community is, and I cannot say that on their behalf, because as I have conversations, WAVS never ceases to come up. Now, we always touch on various topics here, all of which, or most of which, affect the community. We've done the topic of reggae music a lot, because it's a broad landscape, as you know. And we spend some time talking to the legends. We're going to continue to do so. And some of the young guns, too. We're going to touch everyone. But then there's the other side of it. There's more to it than artistry. I look at it as a business. The most important part of stuff is it's the branding, it's the sales, it's the marketing. You know, when you get that product made and it goes by QA and they give it the stamp of approval, now we've got to get it out there to the masses. And that, to me, is radio. It is the DJs. And you get it to the ears of the masses, and that's something that I think that someone like yourself does a great job of, and a few others. And that's why I dub you the mayor of morning radio. You know what I mean?
When I saw the accolades that you gave to me, I said, wow, it's rather touching.
That's how I feel. You're the mayor of morning radio. Going straight into it, the question I'd ask is, in your words, what's the ultimate purpose of radio?
Well, listen, radio is really to entertain, to inform, and educate. And that's what I'm accustomed to, coming from Jamaica. And, of course, I happen to have had conversations with people in broadcasting from the various islands. That's us. That's our culture. Radio, entertainment, education, and information.
Like the BBC kind of influence.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation is when Norman Manley was the Premier of Jamaica, 1959 June.
Right.
It patterned the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation.
Right.
And that was their concept.
Right.
To inform, educate, and entertain.
Right. And I ask questions like that because, like we're speaking off ear, I personally feel like the concept of radio sometimes get lost. You know, we have people who are they're connoisseurs in the dancehall.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, we get a microphone opened up in a morning slot. You know what I mean, or an afternoon slot, or whatever. And then now we see the lines being blurred between the dancehall and radio.
It's certainly unfortunate because Caribbean people, we really want to know what's going on in our country.
Yes.
And if we have a radio station that say that, well, your format is representing the Caribbean people, it should be more than music.
Right.
I love music.
Yes.
I love different genre. But in the midst of that, we should be educating our audience.
Yes.
It bothers me when I sit with certain Jamaicans that they can't even tell who the Prime Minister of Jamaica is or the Governor General.
Wow.
And it's bad. You could never ask a Chinese that.
Right.
Or someone from India.
Yeah, they know what's going
Or
on.
Pakistan.
They know what's going on.
Who is so and so? They know. I think some of us have lost it along the way, and we need to go back into our culture. The fact that you live in America does not mean that you should lose your culture.
Right.
I'm a Jamaican,
Right.
proud Jamaican,
Right.
but I'm also proud to be a nationalized American
Right.
because I'm here.
Right.
It has a lot to offer.
But your culture will never leave you.
It cannot. I speak Jamaican, I walk Jamaican, I do
Right.
everything Jamaican.
And it's amazing when it comes time to and I'm going to say trivial things, but they really are not. Olympics, great musical achievement, and all of a sudden we all pull on the Jamaican goat. You know?
Oh yeah. But one of the things though that worries me is, especially Jamaican. I'm speaking as a Jamaican now. Jamaicans who come to this country, and we have this tendency to force upon a diverse community our way of speaking. And I'm talking about patois. There's anything wrong about patois, but you're into a diverse community, and I call it narrowcasting, but it should be broadcasting.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
And we were taught English.
That's the first language. Contrary to
We
popular
are
belief.
coming from an environment where we learned English. The broadcasters, you and I knew from Jamaica, even when you see them in the bar or a club, we speak Jamaican. But once you go on the air, you become a broadcaster.
Right.
So you speak that everyone can understand you. Most people in America, with the exception of those who don't want to learn English, understand English. We shouldn't be forcing our dialect on a community and then want to call yourself a Caribbean radio station, whichever station you work on, not necessarily mine.
Wow. And that in itself brings its own set of limitations too, because what you do right then and there is, for those people who just don't understand it, they'll tune you out.
But exactly. You lose your audience because if someone is listening to you and don't understand, why would I want to continue?
Yeah. Gotta wait 10 minutes for our
So
song.
your audience become very small, even though somebody might call and big you up, and you get carried away because 5 people call and say, "Oh, boy, I like the music you're playing. I love you." That's a very small audience. And
The 5 called in, you alienated 5,000.
Exactly. And this is, to me, is
I
a
like
combination of even ignorance and arrogance, and that's a very bad combination.
A dangerous combination, if you ask me.
And one of the bad things, G. Cole, is that a lot of them they refuse to even understand that what they're doing is you satisfy yourself and your small audience and think you're big.
Yeah.
You're a superstar.
You're shrinking the culture right then and there.
And I kind of feel a way because broadcasting has a standard. And that
Anywhere
should-
you go.
Yeah, and that should be maintained.
Right.
And don't tell me that you're rootsy, you're Jamaican, that's a part of your culture. Come on now.
Yeah.
Don't tell people that.
And anything you do, there's a standard.
Don't tell people. We do have languages in Jamaica. We speak the Jamaican dialect, but we were taught English. And you know what is so funny, G. Cole? I guarantee you, most Jamaicans can't write it and they can't read patois, but they can speak
They
it.
can speak it. That is true. That is true. You know, when I was growing up as a child, funny enough, I couldn't. It was considered rude and disrespectful to speak patois to my parents or my elders, anybody my senior. But as you grow up, when I became an adult, my mom would talk. We would talk in patois. But when I think about it, as a child growing up, talk to your friends but you can't talk to mom.
But
that way.
exactly, there's a place for it.
Place at a
My
time.
mother was a school teacher, and my father was a police officer. So I was brought up that. As a matter of fact, I tell you a story. In high school, they used to have prefects. You know about prefects.
Right.
Would patrol the streets after school. If you're caught or heard speaking Patois. Detention the following day or the following week in school. And you have to write the correct thing maybe 200 times.
Wow.
But that's all
after
serious.
school.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, if you're caught on a Friday, the detention will be on a Monday.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whatever you said incorrectly, you'd have to write it 250 times. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how serious they were. But I mean, there's nothing wrong about Jamaicans getting together and do our thing.
Right.
But when you're on radio, and you have
Communication.
the Trinidad, and you have the Guyanese, and you have various people, different people from different culture listening to you. Come on, make they understand you.
The funny thing is, we even assume, and I've learned quite early moving to this country, that's a wrong assumption too, that even your fellow Caribbean nationals understand your patois. Not everybody does.
No.
Not everybody does.
It's a bad assumption. Wrong assumption. Some will. Because there are a lot, come on, let's face it.
Right.
There are a lot of people who really want to sound Jamaican.
Yeah, and act it. And
Yeah.
Yep.
And there are a lot of people get fun out of speaking patois. But don't let them believe that it was a language that was taught in school.
Right.
It was not.
Now, your approach, in my opinion, and the key word is in my opinion, is almost a purist approach. And why I say that pretty much is you're not out there DJing at the parties.
No, I'm not. You see, I don't consider myself a DJ.
Right.
I love to listen to DJs who can really do a nice mix, smooth, like a Wagiti or TC, those guys.
Yeah.
They're very
They
good
have
at
it. They have
Mikey
it.
Mike is a very good DJ. And there are others. I can't name. There's too numerous to mention.
Right.
But it's a difference between a DJ and a broadcaster or a radio announcer. You
A
understand?
big difference.
No, it's a difference. So I am not a DJ.
Right.
So you would not see me in the
Spinning
nightclub.
any records
Because
anywhere.
there's an art in doing that. I don't see myself holding an audience as a DJ in a club. No.
Right.
Because I'm accustomed to playing commercials.
Right.
I'm accustomed to announcing records, back
Right.
announce records. Even if I play 4 songs, you and I spoke about that earlier on.
Right.
I am going to back announce it. That was G. Cole. Before that was Taurus Riley, and he was
Right.
preceded by his daddy, Jimmy Riley. To me, that's
Wouldn't work in the dance hall, huh?
No, but exactly. I'm a radio announcer, so I don't like the title radio DJ
Radio
because
DJ.
I can do more than playing records. I do
Right.
interviews and stuff like that.
Right,
I do other
right.
programs. I am do talk shows when Winston is not around. I will sit in for Winston. So I like that kind of communication. I deal with social issues.
Right.
So it's more than just going
Playing
and
the music.
I know to play.
That'd be hilarious, though, to see you.
No. I can't. I will go to dance. I go to
But
dance.
not to play the music.
Oh no! I want to listen to TC. I want to listen to Waggy T, Mike C. Roy, and there's so many of them.
So many good ones.
So many good DJs around, and they know how to mix and how to hold that audience
Yeah.
in the nightclub. In recent times, though, I'm disappointed with some of them because that mix that I'm accustomed to, I don't hear it no more. Everything is just dancehall now, and there's some good reggae music apart from the dancehall thing. I'm saying, hold a second. It's not one long time ago when these songs were boring. Barry Salmon is not boring. His songs are not boring. Mikey Spice, Master is good. They played, but what is this?
I don't know.
And then the problem that existed, and I say this, I'm not afraid to say it because
Right.
I have confronted a number of these nightclub DJs. Why you keep on talking in the song? I am there dancing and you're interrupting me. I don't want
Yeah.
to dance to what you say.
So I hear more of you than the song.
Exactly. I don't want that. I don't know where they got this stupidness from.
It's the ego.
And then again, speeding up the songs.
Yeah, that part of it I can't get into.
No, you have a
I can't
studio.
get into that.
Let's say Empress Unique is in your studio. You're doing a nice recording of Empress Unique, and it is being played on radio, and people love it. So when you go into the nightclub, you hear the same song. You say, "But
So and so.
I'm sure Empress Unique has a song like that." But it's but they speed it up, and you wonder which voice.
Which of the
is this?
chipmunks them is doing this?
I don't know where they get. So,
It's funny. It's amazing. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to Mr. John T right now. Joanna Marie, thank you so much for Mark Adams. Empress Unique is on.
Oh, yeah. Hi, ladies. Jonah Marie and Empress Unique. Well, lovely
Jean
ladies.
is on.
Hardworking ladies.
Why?
Yeah.
They love you. They've been waiting for this.
I'm sure they're in agreement with me.
Oh yeah,
as young as they are.
Yeah. See, they've wanted to say this for a long time, you know, but they were hoping you would on their behalf. So,
okay.
You know.
Okay.
Tell Majilla, big up yourself. We got a lot of people. I saw you spoke to him the other day.
Yeah, we had him last Friday. Yes. Yeah. I had to spotlight him because he's a very conscious guy.
He is. He is.
He is. He will get there.
He is.
Seems to be focused.
Especially with the current climate right now of music. I mean, you're out there, even though you're not a DJ, right? Yeah. You host events.
Oh, yes. I love to do weddings.
Right.
I mean, I can make all the jokes like Oliver Savage, but I do my best. And the people seem to enjoy me when
you do it?
Yeah.
So I guess when you want to hear the music, you're talking about that you're not hearing in the club. That's where you got to go to a wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love to go to weddings.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the cake or?
For a number of reasons. You want to see ladies show off?
It's at the wedding.
You just watch the ladies at the weddings.
All right. I got to push somebody to get married. I got to force some people to get married so I can come back and validate what you're saying. But, I mean, how does what you do on radio, in your opinion, affect how, let's take the DJs out of the question now.
Right.
How does what you do on radio impact what goes on in the dance hall, impact what goes on in the concerts, the overall entertainment space?
Well, I tell you what, there are a number of DJs really listen to the radio. The impact is that they get to know music that they don't have. Because what you find, what I do find is that DJs go to different events and listen to DJs playing certain songs and they try to get those songs. But most of them are very selective. And sometimes when I get calls from certain DJs and they will say, who was that? And where you get that song from? They don't have it because not too many of them try to learn from radio. They try to learn from their other DJs. And even try to imitate and emulate them at the same time.
They have 15 waggy.
You understand? Exactly. You know how many meritones we have in Fort Lauderdale?
Wow.
Every single person wants to be a Winston Meritone Blake.
Wow. And can't duplicate either.
No. So you go to an old session, and if you had heard Winston Meritone Blake 2 weeks ago, you'll wonder if this Meritone is back.
Right. Look a little different, but you sound the same.
Yeah. No, come on, man. You need to find yourself. There's nothing wrong in learning from senior people.
Right. And I feel like even just from radio itself, there's something to be, like you mentioned, if you're listening to your peers, if I'm only learning from this guy right here, then I'm learning the same thing. And if he does the same thing I do, we're just sharing the same info. But you can expand your repertoire. You know what I mean? Expand your catalog, your knowledge by listening to radio.
I think, going back to the word impact, I think we were more... when I just came here, when I started radio, we had a better impact on DJs. When they have taken a different path in terms of the music, and they don't that learning thing from radio, getting information from radio about even. So, you know what is interesting? Some of these DJs, they are so locked into their little. I don't want to use a word that is inappropriate, but they're locked into themselves, that they don't go anywhere and they don't listen to other things. So they are very limited in the music knowledge.
So all they hear is their own mix.
Yes. So on the international scene, like you would say to some DJ, well, Chronix is big, European, and somebody said, who is Chronix?
Wow.
And this could be a person who plays it. But recently it's not so.
Right.
But this is a person who probably plays in a club every night. I would not know who Gentleman is.
Wow.
And I've had this kind of conversation. They are locked in to a community. They don't know those people.
The little cocoon.
Yes, you know.
That is crazy though. And even speaking on that, it's like when I go to dancehall, and I use the word dancehall. We're in America, so it's not really a dancehall. It's just a place. Yeah. Maybe indoors, but when you go to different venues and stuff like that, if you check the charts overall, the music that sells, right? Same thing.
What chart are you referring to?
Let's say Billboard for argument's sake.
Oh, okay. Billboard.
The real charts somewhere, you know. If you check those charts, it's amazing that the songs you normally see on those, you will never hear being played
Okay.
in the dance hall.
That's the point. They don't know those songs. But go back in this chart business. And I know some people are probably going to be upset.
I'm digging it.
I'm yet to, people who make up charts, I'm yet to hear from them, how do they compile their charts?
Well, hopefully we can get some answers to that, because that's a question I've been asking too.
You see, years ago, we had a chart at WABS Radio. Ron Burke, C. Roy, and there were times when I'd fill in for it. How we compiled the charts at the time is record sales.
Right.
We had about 4 record shops in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, plus VP. And every week on a Thursday, I think Ron did the top 20 chart on a Friday, so we'd get the returns from these outlets. And we give points to sales of records.
Right.
Because your record store might sell 20 Luciano, but another one might sell 20 Marcia Griffiths or 19, whatever. But in totality, when you do the maths, the person who get the most sponsor would be at the number one. And it goes like that on the maths.
Right. A logical computing
Yes.
formula. Yeah.
So that's all the charts were compiled by sales return. Because if you like the record and you buy it, that means the record is doing something or the CD is doing something. I really want to know, because there are so many charts that confuses me. And I've been asked the question so many times. So John T, when are you going to do the charts? I'll do a chart. I say, when I can compile one. Because I am yet to be informed how those who make charts compile their charts.
No legitimacy. 'Cause, first of all, it's like having these.
I don't want to see this as.
No, it's not a bashing.
No, I'm not bashing anyone.
But
I do, because I don't know. I
You really
don't
wanna know?
I really want to know.
Yeah, there's genuine curiosity
Yeah,
here.
so I want to know. So
On my part, too.
I'm not bashing. I'm just trying to explain to you how we did it in those days.
Right.
I'd like to know how they do it in these times.
Right.
Maybe I want to make a chart, so I'd like to know. I'd like to learn. You're never too old to learn. You're
Never too old to compile a chart.
Exactly. So I really like to know.
John T, it's amazing, because especially when I feel like laughing is when I actually hear the charts. It's when I sit down and somehow hear
The chart.
when you hear the chart, and you hear the number one song and I hear like number two song.
And I've never heard that. I've heard number ones. I've actually seen the number one. I've never heard those songs.
Hey, man.
And I think I get a lot of songs.
Well, see what happens.
Suppose I all right, G-Code, suppose I give you a joke now. If I were to go by request in terms of what people love, Mikey Spice song would have been in the top 10 for the last 4 years or more. I said in terms of the song that people love on request.
Mikey.
If you were to go by what people love, and this is genuine stuff. This is not people calling people to request a Mikey Spice song. But I'm talking from my own experience being on radio. When you go to a function, when they put on that song, don't you see how the people react to that song?
Crazy. People losing their minds.
Even though that song came out more than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And even now, when you play that song in a club or wherever you go, people get up and dance. The same thing applies to Taurus Riley's song,
She's Royal.
She's Royal. So if I were to make up a chart
Right.
by terms of love and request, those songs would never leave the top 10. I'm telling you.
Wow.
So
true.
it comes back to, how do you compile your chart?
Well, there you go. That's a John T chart right there. That means Mikey Spice is a song on the chart right now. It's amazing, because I think about it a lot and I say, how do we? It's almost like when does everybody get a trophy? It's like, when you're playing a little league team, and as long as you show up, you pay the membership fee to get into the league. Oh, then
okay.
you're entitled to a trophy.
Educate me, please. Sir. I like
That's
educated.
John and Marie. Question for John: how long has he been on radio? Because he needs a trophy. John T says.
Okay, I mentioned earlier. You must have joined us late, John and Marie.
She did.
Actually, I started work at WABS Radio on the 17th of July, 1986.
Wow, that's a 33.
So this coming July. It was a Saturday, the 17th. You can check your thing, John. It was a Saturday, the 17th of July, 1986.
It was a warm Saturday.
And I relieved Marie Garth. But I knew Joanna Marie from way back when she was a teenager.
Back in Jamaica?
No, here.
Here.
maybe a little early in the 20s.
A long time, John, I get trouble, you know.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if she remembers this. I remember when I played this guy is Hispanic. In Spanish, J, I think. Okay, I must have said Julia Iglesias.
Oh, yes. Julio.
Yeah, Julio. In Spanish, it's not pronounced that way.
Wow.
And she called and said, John T. That's a long time ago. I'd gone to a home in Davie at the time too, and this guy, Hispanic, was singing reggae, and his first name was Jesus. So I said, your parents call you Jesus?
Hallelujah. Cultures.
Thank you, Joanna. I have not forgotten that well-needed correction at the time. We must never ever fail to accept and respect corrections,
Always.
Because we all...
It's needed for growth.
Exactly. We are not perfect.
Yeah.
Anything at all.
We weren't born with the info.
So we must put yourself in a position where you can accept corrections. Yes.
That's the way to do it.
So Joanna Marie was, I don't think she remembers. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a young girl, man. She good. She remember. How does, in your opinion, what you do, and when I say you, I mean the radio sphere, affect the commercial side of music now in 2019 in terms of sales, and does radio, in your opinion, still have the capability to drive and at the same time suppress the sales of, and we're talking reggae music at this point?
No, man, it's the radio still does a lot in terms of sales. I'll give you an example. If you were to talk to Desmond from Rainbow, and I can say about us because you don't have too many outlets these days. Both Rainbow and VP, they've always called. They have said to me, especially Desmond, and he would tell you that. He will always call me pretty often. He will come and say, boy, John T, when I call you, is a reason, Somebody's in the store right now, said you play a song this morning, and I would like to get it. Sometimes they don't remember the title of the song, but I would say, Desmond asks the person to sing a line,
Right. And that works.
Sometimes they have to give the time because, we make up a list. All the songs that we play in the mornings, we have to record it.
Right.
So if I ask Desmond to ask the person what time it was played, then I can go back to the station the following morning and look whether it's between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, and look on the songs that I played that previous morning. I would be able to tell Desmond. So it still has an impact in terms of sales.
And that proves the legitimacy also. At least you're doing playlists. A lot of stations aren't.
No, I have to.
And they're supposed to.
No, I have to. All the songs that I play in the morning, every single song
has to be
is recorded.
Nice.
Yeah, I have to write, and sometimes people call and say, "Boy, I've been calling you, not answering the phone. I'm working.
Yeah.
I don't only speak on the phone. I am. If they watch me on the Facebook at time, they see me writing. I'm writing on the songs I'm playing, and I have to write on the name of the song, not just a song, but there's R&B, reggae, soca. That has to be listed.
There's data that's necessary.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because sometimes when I'm up in the morning, I get up. Sometimes I see your feed and you're on. And you're doing what you say right now. You're doing your stuff, making the notes and whatever. And I always hear people saying, John T, like they're trying to get your attention.
Yeah, I really don't have time. People tell me that I text you and not even responding.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're hanging out today with Mr. John T. I'm going to drop another tune right about now. And again, if you love it, go get it. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is homegrown.
Hey, baby, I just love the way that you did that. Why did you do that? Can you do that? Just do it for me one more time. Yeah, one more time, baby. Do that to me one more time. Once is never enough with a man like you. To me one more time. I can never get enough from a man like you. Ooh. like you just did. Oh, baby.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it.
Do it to me once again. Pass it by me one more time. Once is never enough for my heart to give. Oh, tell it to me one more time.
Thank you all. I want to bless up all my massive and crew listening overseas right now on Royal Zion Highness Radio.
You near, oh,
Amsterdam's in the building. Bless up.
say those words.
Toronto's locked in. I appreciate you all. My California massive. Romania. What's up, Morelli?
Oh, baby, can you tell it to me once again?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Do That To Me. Empress Unique with her rendition of a classic, making it a classic of her own. Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. You see me here, see the magazine on deck. It is the latest edition of Island Origins by Island Syndicate. It's a real nice, a beautiful magazine. Go ahead and check it out. And of course, on the back here, the Taste the Islands Experience. April. Got to get David back in the studio. We're going to talk about this because for the last, I think this is the 4th staging of it. And they've just been growing and growing and growing. So the Taste the Islands Experience, all right? Make sure you go ahead and pick up a copy of this magazine. And if you're passing by the studio here, I got a couple, just a couple, all right? And I might be able to hook you up. John T, how weird is it being on that side of the microphone?
I'm sitting there, I was trying to remember the last time I was on the other side.
Right.
I think it was the Love Doc who interviewed me when I celebrated my 25th anniversary in broadcasting.
Right.
And yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, well, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling because some of the things I would have loved to say when I'm on there, I don't get the chance to.
Right.
So you have the responsibilities over there.
I got responsibility to pull it out today.
So I would have.
So they can't say it's you. No, you were just answering questions.
That's exactly.
Now, with the emergence, and I've spoken to TC, who has done commercial radio, but he has a background also in internet radio.
You know, let me just interject there. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of respect for TC.
Yes.
I have listened to him in the nightclubs. Mm-hmm. I've heard him on radio quite a few times. Mm-hmm. I think he's a broadcaster.
He does an excellent job.
Apart from that, he's versatile, very versatile. He knows the difference between broadcasting and a club DJ. Mm-hmm. He's very eloquent. When I listen to him in a nightclub, I've heard him quite a number of times. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, recently, he and I were involved in a wedding for Zemroy's sister.
Okay.
He was a DJ. But just the way he comes across as someone who plays the music and enunciate. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of respect for him.
He does a great job. I thought you were going to say you and TC went out to a dance one night or something like that.
No. But I really admire him. He's because a DJ is not necessarily somebody who goes and play music and just speak any way you want to speak.
Right.
When he speaks that everyone can understand him. And he has a very beautiful radio voice. He
does. I told him that he needs to patent the voice.
Yeah.
Because different. Even though you're playing out, you're off the radio now. Yeah. But when you're playing out, you're still not always in the same environment. So the way you go play at the party, not the same way you're gonna play at the wedding, at the corporate event.
No, to me, he's a very outstanding person as a DJ and as a radio.
Yeah, TC's my go-to guy.
And I know so many of them, mm-hmm. and no disrespect to the others, but I think he's among the best.
Yeah. He's one of the top ones. With the emergence of internet radio, mm-hmm. right, which is blowing up or has blown up, some see terrestrial radio. Some people don't even like using the word terrestrial radio, but terrestrial radio as archaic, or they say it's antiquated, and because it reaches. The reach without the aid of the internet is finite. It's very finite. You have a specific location you can reach, as opposed to the now infinite reach and viability of the internet radio. That being said, in your opinion, is terrestrial radio at risk of becoming obsolete?
No, I don't think so. Internet radio has its place. There's no doubt on the international scene. As a matter of fact, you being here now on internet radio and you have an audience, but you would never believe that you have a big audience on the international scene, maybe in Europe, Japan,
Right.
Canada, and all those spaces. What a commercial station like that we have here is the fact that dialogue between your listening audience. You and your listening audience
Can't replace that.
No, it's very difficult for you to replace that kind of a connection with your audience.
Right.
I'll be giving away 2 tickets this morning to go and see Barry Salmon next week.
Right.
Give a call. Not that you can't do it, but it there's a better connection or...
You have 2 tickets with Bears?
Yeah. And from so that kind of a connection is kind of it's a different kind of vibe. When
I get you.
But internet radio has its place. There's no doubt about it, especially with the young ones. It's going to be very difficult for them to take over.
Formats may change in terms of they may diversify their distribution portfolio. They may decide to, which most traditional radio stations have. Yeah. Like you're on TuneIn, you know what I mean? Most people will broadcast on their website too, and they'll broadcast on their apps. But the actual structure and the entity of the radio station is not going anywhere.
No. What is good that you just mentioned a while ago, the traditional radio stations now broadcast, they also stream. So in terms of the internet, they're also on the internet. It's just for you to go to market that.
Right.
So it's not that those who want to go on internet, it has its place. But I think most internet, I think you all are doing a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. For me, because I do I spend some time on FM dials too, on traditional radio, and it's a total difference.
Yeah,
you do get, and I agree with what you said, is that you do have that immediate interaction.
Yeah, with your audience.
I do. If I throw the number out there, people will call me. I just don't do it because I'm doing everything. I'm the engineer. I'm the sound guy. I'm the this and the that. So once this phone starts ringing, then it's all kind of chaos.
And going back to the format too, for instance, traditional radio, most radio stations, like those are accustomed to, people are accustomed to hearing their sports news, their regular news, the giveaways and the interviews. And you have done quite a number of that, but there's so many things that traditional radio do that internet radio just don't bother to do that.
Yeah.
Music.
Regulation.
Yeah, music.
And the lack of regulation too will affect that too, because like we mentioned earlier in the conversation, there are certain things that make radio. Those boundaries are not there when it comes to internet radio. So radio will never be replaced because again, the format you're going to get from a traditional radio station, you're not going to get from internet radio because most internet radio DJs are from the club.
Yeah, they're not into the news thing or sports. Are you kidding? Oh yeah, you might talk about what you read earlier last night. They might have watched Super Bowl over the weekend, so you come on the program you mentioned it. But there's not a sports cast.
The format is...
One has to understand that there are thousands of people who love that, want to hear that.
Yeah.
For instance, you and I are from the Caribbean. You might not like cricket, you might like soccer or football. But there are thousands of people who love cricket.
And I know you're an avid cricket lover.
No, I'm a cricketer. No, because, the biggest crowd to have come to the stadium was cricket.
Wow.
13,000 people came out to watch Gale and the popular people bat. So when you talk about an audience, you talk not just Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, Barbados,
India.
What station do they really listen to get all this kind of information?
True.
Not just Jamaica.
The diaspora is huge.
Yeah, it's big.
And the diaspora relies on the traditional radio station.
Exactly, to get that kind of information. So
the good ones, the good radio stations. Yeah. There are radio stations out there, just like their restaurants and their phones out there, cell phones, but not all of them are good. Here's the thing also, John T., and I ask you this. Radio, as we know it, it's a business, right? It's a business first, is what I should say. There is no radio station, clear channel, community radio, mainstream radio, whatever you want to call it, that got into the game not to generate revenue. Music just happens to be the vehicle that takes them to that revenue stream. That being said, for artists that are coming up, new artists or tenured artists, but they're just haven't achieved that level of success, if they don't have the finances, is radio even a catalyst to success for them, or does radio come into play for them after some form of success?
No, man, radio helps a lot in promoting them. When they put out a good song, you see, this is how it goes.
I guess that's a key, a good song, huh?
Yeah, I'm saying good song because some song I really don't play. Straight up.
No matter
I play the best and I throw away the rest.
Wow, boom, boom, boom.
You play a good song on your program tonight, and let's say 20 people hear the song. The song is so good that those 20 people call up and say, by the way, I listen to G. Cole and he play a song, you see? By so-and-so. Boy, you hear the song. And then right away now, inquiring minds want to hear that particular song. So you know what happens when G. Cole is on again, they want to hear G. Cole. They want to hear a song, they probably call you.
Right, to request that.
Yes, because my friend told me that you played Mikey Spice last night.
Yeah.
I've never heard it. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
So it does. It helps. It
Right.
helps. Mikey Spice was, as an example, Mikey Spice was a song out there. I understand you recorded it some time ago, but anyway, I got it a week and a half ago. He came from Jamaica, came straight to the station and gave me the song. Nice rendition of a song was done originally by, I think the guy's name is John Turner, who has this deep baritone voice. You know, Mike has that and he shows off with it too.
Yeah.
There is not a morning that I don't get at least 6 calls.
Is it a song on the Cool Reggae compilation?
I don't know. I don't think it's out yet. He says
Oh, it's not out yet.
No.
Oh, okay,
He said
okay,
he's
okay,
working
okay,
on an
okay.
album. So he gave me 4 cuts from that album. But I'm just kind of telling you the impact that radio has.
And still continues to have.
That there's not a man that woman, by the way. There's one, actually, a gentleman who called us, I love that song. What women gravitate to some kind of songs, you see? And the words that you probably miss, they don't miss it. The lyrical contents I'm talking about. A lady called me from yesterday, and she said to me, I have it as Song of the Week, by the way.
Right.
She said, Auntie, that song by Michael Spice, please, tomorrow morning is my birthday. I want to play that song of the week. She called me this morning to remind me.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in case you happen to forget.
Yeah. but radio has a lot to do with promoting songs.
Right.
If the people gravitate to certain songs, they will. I'm not sure now, but I was the first person to have played She's Royal.
Wow, the Taurus Rally?
Yes.
Wow.
He flew in from Jamaica. He came straight to the radio station, himself and Dean Fraser. Gave me the album. I was going through the songs, 2 lines, and I heard the song. I said, wow, Taurus.
Wow.
You took then Delroy Wilson's rhythm and made a hit out of it. Because it's Delroy's melody, you know.
Right.
You're aware of that.
Yeah.
Don't say you love me when you see my money. Yeah. And Taurus said,
I didn't know until after I heard the Taurus, though.
oh, really?
Yeah.
So I said, Taurus said to me, he calls me Uncle John because I knew him from when I was a little boy. So pick mango and his mango tree in the back of the house when they lived in Vermont. Pick mango for me.
Right.
Uncle John, you pick it up. You know what? But ever since I played that song, She's Royal, oh man, it was, and club people started calling. Never calling, everybody called.
Wow.
So radio has a lot to do with promoting.
The power of radio will never dissipate.
It has a lot to do with promotion. There's no doubt about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, because we have the conversation a lot, and I think people question the viability of it. Because there's legitimacy questions too. Like we had mentioned earlier, even the charts.
Yeah.
I think what happens pretty much is like with everything, there are questionable ones. So as a result, people question the viability of the legitimate ones. And most people are of the mindset that radio play and stuff like that is contrived, more so than just off the strength of the music being the music. My thing pretty much is there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many hours in your show. There's only so many days of the week that you're on, and you get the millions of songs. So I'm sure everything doesn't make the cut. But as a radio personality, how do you find that time to sit down. And I know a lot of commercial stations, they have program directors, and that's a job of the program director. But do you sit down and for your show and stuff like that, do that stuff yourself and take?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
I am well prepared when I go to work.
Wow.
I go to bed most time after 1 o'clock.
Wow.
And I'm up early. And even if I don't get the chance to go to bed late, I get up early in the morning and prepare. I know exactly how I'm going to start my show. I don't go to work unprepared.
Right.
I'm well prepared. I download information on my computer in terms of what I want to talk to people about, whether it's politics, whether it's sports. I really love social issues. I love politics. I love sports. So there are clips I will print out on my computer to talk about. I don't leave my show. It's not an empty show. It's not just music. But I put a program together.
Right.
So sometimes people get annoyed. They will call and say, I'd like to hear a certain song. And sometimes I set up call too. Those I can identify.
You can tell right off the bat.
And I'm saying, listen, I don't have it on my playlist this morning, but I can play it for you tomorrow. You can't find the song. I say, it's not on my playlist, but my program is really put together already.
Right.
Yeah.
I can understand the struggle in that.
Yeah, so I just smile and say, I'm sorry, tomorrow.
It's amazing. People think radio is not organized, like you're just there. And I think it's because of the fact that they're so accustomed to the unorganized formats. Yeah. Because even today's Thursday? Last night I was on air, FM radio. And, it's Bob Marley's birthday, so most of the day, most reggae stations that you tune into playing Bob Marley.
Yeah.
I am a huge Dennis Brown fan. Dennis Brown's birthday was a couple days before. And, of course, it was Bunny Ruggs' birthday, too.
Yes.
So, out of respect, of course, I'm going to drop a one, Bob. But the show was, and I played some Bunny Ruggs, because I love Bunny Ruggs. But I had a specific album. It's called Good Vibrations. I've never spoken to anybody who has the record. So I said, you know what? It's an episode on my podcast. I'm going to bring it to the people, and we're going through the record. And people love the show. I got calls. But there were always the calls that asked me for something else.
Right.
And I'm like, well, trust me, I'll get you another day. But right now, I'm going through an album.
You can't play everything that people request.
Play everything. No. It's not on this album. And right now, I'm featuring Good Vibrations. So I understand exactly what you mean. Ladies and gentlemen, again, chopping it up here at Mr. John T, getting some knowledge of myself, and hopefully you're getting some too. I'm going to drop another song right now. This one's called We Are African from Army Gideon. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is home.
No greetings, Rastafari, yard and abroad, worldwide. We say African unity, see? Sure. I must stop look towards foreigners for African solutions. Emperor Haile King Selassie, I just say so. What you mean? Hear me now. One boat stop with all the differences, not difficult. Motherland it feed we till them cut the umbilical. Father Jah the teach we till them dilute what's biblical. Africa the land for the children.
Yes, Joanna.
If Jah the planet for we they what's stopping us? When
It is Army Gideon. We are African. Albums for Satan.
Cause Peter Tosh did state it plain. From you a black man, yo, it's all the same. You are an African. So free your mind from the bonds and chains. Make we get ready for this iron train. Forward to Africa. From the sea to the root and the tree up to the vine, yeah. Hey, we know war over Yankee Hardy. Cause we know say we are African, yeah. Sure. And those some are irritate and them seeking to divide us.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and get this one. It's a brand new album.
I made them know say we are African, yeah. How whether man a Egypt or Hebrew, Rasta man and Eagles. Big up all the queens too, you know say that we need you. We fight against we self is deceitful. One must have peace to the needs of his people. Enemy within you, do not make it trick you. Love towards the virgin on this history where you live good. Clean hands and pure heart, keep it peaceful. I chant black power till it reach you. Cause Marcus Garvey did state it plain. From you a black man, yo, it's all the same. You are an African. So free your mind from the bars and chains. And make we get ready for this iron train. Forward to Africa.
Yes, God bless up.
From the sea to the root and the tree up to the vine.
Yeah, man, it is Armageddon, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the album's a great album. One of the hard-hitting bands. If they're in your city, you need to go ahead and check them out. And again, we're sitting down having a nice conversation with Mr. John T. I'm a firm believer in the whole concept of, you got to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. And of course, when you see somebody, when you know where they're from and so forth, it gives you an insight, an explanation as to why they are who they are. So you're from Trelawney.
Oh, yeah.
Saw it.
What? I'm
just saying.
I was born in, listen where I was born now. A place called Sawyer's Market.
Sawyer's Market?
Yeah.
For the curious minds. Explain that one for me, please.
The place is called Sawyer's Market.
That's the name of the place?
Yes. But I was
wow.
born. So, I always was a big joke for me and my cousins and even some of my siblings. I said, I would go out and tell people, don't worry, I was born in a market. But anyway, that's what's the name of the place. There's a place in St. Elizabeth that is called New Market.
Okay.
But my one is not new or old. It's
Sawyer's Market.
But I'm really from Jacksontown. I was only born there. When my mother got married to my father, every time she gets pregnant, going to have a baby, she go back to her mother's place. And
Okay, and give birth there.
Yeah, right. So I'm really from Jacksontown.
Right. Repping Trelawney to the fullest.
Yeah. Well, 100% Trelawney. Went to primary school in Jacksontown, went to high school in Falmouth. In those days, there were only 2 high schools in Trelawney, as a matter of fact. I can recall. There was Westwood High for the girls up on the hill. That's so you could see Cuba from there.
Right. Straw hat ladies.
Yeah, Jippy Jappa. Yeah. But I went to a co-ed school.
Right.
William D. Memorial High. Well, it was not very popular in those days, but now because Bolt is also.
Right.
It became very popular. I did very well in athletics and at one time football, which they call soccer in America.
Yeah.
But I'm really a Trelawney man.
Wow.
Grew up on the Yellow Yam.
Yeah. So you can run like wood?
I used to sprint at school.
Yeah?
Yes.
So it's really a yam thing?
Yes. but my thing was really cricket, because my father was a cricket fanatic and he loved politics, and I kind of grew up getting some of those things from my father. So I started playing cricket from when I was in primary school and went to high school, played cricket. As a matter of fact, I made the parish team when I was in 3rd form.
Wow.
I probably was one
of
the...
Trelawney parish?
Yes.
Wow.
Trelawney. I played, while I was in school, I played for the parish.
With grown people?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, with grown people. As a matter of fact, some of the people who played with me actually played for Jamaica. Hosang was my captain, played for Jamaica. There was Ray Winter.
Right.
And there were a few others who played for Jamaica.
What was your avenue of expertise? You're a fast bowler too?
An all-rounder. Medium pace,
yeah.
and I batted at number 4. I did pretty well.
Nice.
And I went to Kingston. I played Senior Cup.
Wow.
I played against Lawrence Rowe.
What?
Morris Foster, Robert Chang. All
Right.
who played for the West Indies. So I did pretty well in cricket.
So this could have been a whole different conversation now.
So it's so I'm not just somebody who just watch the game. I am a cricketer.
Right. I love it.
Because I played the highest in Jamaica, Senior Cup. Yeah.
Right. That's pretty cool. Because, and again, you can see, like I said, when somebody's passionate about something, it always comes from somewhere. It's not just, hey, I love the thing.
No, I played it from high school to Senior Cup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you also spent a little bit of time in law enforcement, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
12 years, 11 months, and 5 days.
Was that just memory or you were counting down to get?
No, when you resign,
yeah,
they note everything.
Wow.
Your behavior and the time spent. I got in when I was 18 years old too. I actually
influenced your pop
and 2 of my brothers, 2 of my older brothers. My mother wanted me to work with the collector of taxes, and I was about to get a job with them. But when I compared the salary,
right,
I said, "What's all a second? The police, as a recruit, was getting more twice." I'm not ashamed. You know what they were offering when they collect off taxes? I mean, those days the American dollar was 85 cents.
Right.
But you know what they were offering? Monthly payment at the collect off taxes, $65 a month.
Wow, to collect taxes.
Well, you're right.
To work for
the collector, write up license. You might license this.
Yeah.
You could license the car for 3 months, 6 months of the year. And you have to dress up in white shirt. And mother took me to Brownstone. We bought 2 white shirts and 2 pants. And have to dress up nice.
So she really wanted you to do that, huh?
Yes, she didn't want me to go in the police force, no. So I went for an interview with the collector, and I was supposed to work the following Monday. So while I was there, they always give them free gleaner. They dropped off the gleaner, so I was really glad that's how police recruited. Fortunately for me, the rain came down, and there was this constable who was sheltering under the. So after I called him over, and I asked him, I said, how much do they pay police officers? He looked at me straight, why did you ask? But reluctantly, he told me that when you're in training school, it gave you $121 a month.
What? Double?
So I said to myself, I am here just up in white shirt and tie and for $65. And a recruit, a trainee is getting $121 a month.
It ain't gonna work.
This can't work.
I'll be back, Mom.
Yeah, so I went up to Ulster Spring and sat the exam, and there were, listen to this, 21 of us took the test.
Wow.
Only two of us passed. A guy from Kabla. Remember Kabla camp? Ever heard of Kabla?
Yeah.
Two of us got through.
Wow. That means the quality back then, they were looking for quality.
The sergeant ran.
Because all 28 you'd have gotten today.
The only two of us from 21.
Wow.
You know, what was nerve-wracking though, when the sergeant came out and he said, who is Hudson? Me, sir. Who is Meeks? That's the other guy. You two are going to stand on a tree. I thought he was going to send us home.
Oh, Lord. But you two were the two.
We're the only two.
Wow, that's cruel.
But you know, it was a dangerous job, because it's not long after I became a detective, and that was the dangerous part, because you face criminals every day.
Right.
And I worked in some dangerous parts in Kingston. And I mean, you talk about the days of Tivoli Garden, you're talking about
Real uprisings,
Arnett Garden. But you know what? When you're young and energetic, you feel you can't die.
Fearless.
No, you're not afraid of anybody.
Mortality is not a question.
You feel that everybody should run from you.
Right.
Anybody who is called a criminal should run from you. Because, I mean, those some bad days at Copper.
Yeah.
You talk about Starkey and some bad guys.
Yeah.
But
the real gangsters.
We were not afraid. So, I mean, I've been shot at quite a number of times.
Right.
God is good.
Wow.
Even though I've been shot at a number of times, but I've never been shot.
Right.
And, but I enjoyed it. I can never tell anyone if I never did. I did.
Right.
I did, you know. And I left. I passed my detective sergeant exam April of 1982. I was the youngest in St. Anna Central to have passed the sergeant exam at that time.
Wow.
So I did very well, and I appreciate. The first time I came to the United States, I came to play cricket.
Wow.
Representing the police force.
Wow.
First police team to have toured the United States. 1975, I came on a Pan American airline. You know that airline?
Yep. I heard of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. No, and so it was. So you actually toured the U.S.
Well, most parts.
Most of it.
So I went to Connecticut.
Right. Wherever the diaspora is.
Yeah. A number of places where they played cricket. Put it that way.
Right.
And so I was first police team to have left Jamaica to play cricket abroad.
Wow.
So, and I did well too when I came on the tour. I was young.
Right.
Young, energetic. And,
So that cricket was still in your blood.
oh yeah.
Wow.
I did very well. So when I decided to resign, it was the hardest decision.
Yeah?
It was the hardest decision.
Wow.
And I still think about it. I dream about it a lot. And a number of times when I go to bed and I dream my patrol just to say. It was my first love.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the people listening, they're grateful you resigned. All right. And we're hoping you don't go back. Now, you know, that being in law enforcement and doing it right, being in the military and doing it right requires a lot of discipline. How and do you think that discipline helped you, shaped you to be the person you are on radio today?
Oh, certainly. Certainly.
Right.
Yeah, because in those days, oh man, you couldn't step out the line at all.
Wow.
The training school was something else.
Right.
You were given certain hours to do the laws, to study your laws. The lights out at a certain time, and if you were caught studying at a certain time, oh man, you would take about 50 laps around the square with a rifle over your head.
Wow.
Some kind of punishment.
The real deal.
No, but that was no man. That really made me into a man. Because going to Kingston at 18, I'm a teenager.
Right. Still a kid.
Yeah, teenager.
This is your first time being away from.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
No, man, I became a man in Kingston.
Wow.
I also became a Kingstonian.
Wow.
Because
Still a Reverend July.
The way I know Kingston, a lot of people who were born and raised in Kingston never knew the way I did.
Because you had to for the nature of the job you did.
Yes. I mean, there wasn't anywhere in Kingston that I never, as a cop, patrolling. I mean, I worked with a squad called Flying Squad that you worked all over Jamaica.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it allowed me to know all 14 parishes very well. And I must have slept in all parishes with the exception of St. Thomas. The only parish that I've never slept in.
Wow.
All 14. And I'm grateful.
So it was an invaluable experience.
I'm really grateful to the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Wow, I love it.
It was a dedication for me.
It's always great to hear people speak of the Constabulary Force or any institution that gets challenged today, because people, you know it already. A lot of times you hear things it's not necessarily positive, but it's always great to hear someone speak of it.
No, man, I enjoyed it. I even spent, before going to Flying Squad, I spent 2 years with the then Prime Minister Michael Manley. I was one of his VIP escort at times.
Wow.
So I worked in Jamaica, where I met people like George Foreman, Joe Fraser, all those people.
Wow.
So I met Prime Minister Forbes Burnham. Well, he was called president at the time. Quite a number of people. Maurice Bishop from Grenada.
Wow.
So I happened to have met a number of dignitaries while I spent about 2 years in Jamaica. So I also enjoyed that. Spent some time there with Michael's son, Joseph.
Yeah.
Yeah. He taught me how to drink. What's his big liquor name again? I don't remember.
We can say that now. We're not on the job.
I've done a cigarette. The first time I smoked, done a cigarette.
Trust me, people say you are influenced the Prime Minister, so the Prime Minister, so nobody influenced you.
There was a pool in the back of Jamaica House, and they would bring down the big liquor. Johnny Walker Black.
At least there's some good memories, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, wonderful memories. Yeah.
What made you get into radio?
Okay, good question. I loved radio from when I was in high school. My early influences were Winston Williams, late Jeff Dixon, who became, I just want to tell you this name that he changed his name to. I Micah Baka Tafari.
Who?
I Micah Baka Tafari. He left Jamaica as Jeff Dixon. Used to do a show in the afternoon, 3 to 6, the JD show. Actually, the show that preceded that show was one they called Teenagers Dance Party, TADP.
Right.
Your parents must have told you about TADP.
No, I haven't heard about it.
Well, TADP was a program in the afternoon on JBC. And there was a theme. Beardman show. Pum, 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 from Nickel Pine to Murren Pine, calling all Jamaica to the TADP. Teenagers Dance Party. Then those days we had a guy named Agri Brown and Maurice Thompson. But later on, this guy, Jeff Dixon, this guy who started to rhyme on radio. Everything he said was rhyme. And as youngsters, we were into this rhyming thing. Right. Mellow like jello, fine like wine, and stuff like that. So he was he's one of those early influences. Then came Winston Williams and Errol Thompson. Those guys had a lot of impact on my broadcasting career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's always good. And that's why I always say, when you're doing what you're doing, you're inspiring somebody. But positively or negatively?
I tell you something better than that. When I went to Kingston, I used to frequent the JBC because Errol was alive at the time. And I remember one night I went over there and this Bagger Brown, you ever heard of Bagger Brown?
I've heard the name, yeah.
He worked at the JBC at the time. I went over there, he had a script to do a commercial, but there was somebody else who was supposed to do the commercial with him. And he was there waiting on the person. And the person took a long time. I picked up the script and I was reading it. Errol Thompson walked in, same E.T. died too. And he was talking to Bagger Brown. I said, what's going on? I said, boy, I waited like it was I'm waiting on G Cole to come and do this commercial with me. I don't know what happened to him, man. E.T. said to him, but I just hear your virgin a while ago reading the thing, but him sound like a reader man. Why don't let him So that's where it actually started.
When was this?
At the JBC, long time on E.T. And then when we voiced the commercial, everybody was asking Bagger Brown, who was this person? from that now, a number of people, Bugger Brown started to give me work. Then I would go to JBC and do some voiceover for them. And then it was between Uriel Aldridge, Desmond Elliott, and Errol Thompson. Give you a joke. One night I was over there with Errol. Errol was doing a program called Turntable Time. It started 8 o'clock in the night. And he asked me to introduce a record. And this is Errol on air. He was such a character. He knew what I was doing. He knew my job.
Right.
This was Errol. The man at the wrong station, I was stationed halfway tree.
Okay, so that's what he was getting at with it. Instead of the police station.
Yeah, he said, the man at the wrong station, man. So.
Big up the legends. Big up the legends.
So I never forgot that. So, but they were very influential and they were rather encouraging too.
Yeah.
Because they thought I had something in me to become a broadcaster. So I'm thankful to the late E.T. Desmond Elliott, Uriel Aldridge, who now lives in New York. So, but they were the early influence and they saw it in me.
Right, before you even saw it yourself.
Yeah, I just love to listen to them. I used to enjoy listening to them. But they saw that in me.
I love that. I love that. There's one thing I always say is this. There's nobody that can take away your talent.
Yeah.
But there are people who can take away your confidence.
Yeah.
So it's always great when people aim to inspire. Sometimes, I don't know where we get, and sometimes a cultural thing where it's me, and you don't nurture the future and the person coming up behind you. You're not going to be at this microphone forever.
Yeah.
So you might as well have somebody coming up after you that's going to do it as well as you did. For as long as you've been doing radio, are you still in love with it like you were 33 years ago?
A lot of radio personalities wouldn't want to admit that when you start, there's a certain amount of ego. I don't have the ego anymore. I love it, but I don't have the ego like what I had when I started. What I enjoy doing, though, is more of informing my public.
Right.
And playing the songs that I think are suitable for airplay.
Right.
I really, really believe that a lot of my colleagues should pay more attention to the songs the songs that are being aired. Some of them are not fitting, and they might be saying, "Oh, am I to criticize them?"
Right.
But I know that some of them are aware that some of them not airworthy at all.
Yeah.
Somebody at home has a little computer and just do a little thing.
Yeah.
And leaves it at the station, and then him do another little thing,
Right.
and it gets airplay. That's not going to happen with me. That's not going to happen with me.
I wish artists would. I'll tell you a little story. I normally I don't, but I grew up in Ocho Rios. One of the broadcasters, DJ, but he sometimes is on air. His name's Digital Chris, IRFM. So before my first album, we're doing music and stuff like that, and I have a single now that I'm proud of and confident in. Sent it to Chris because I know him. That's my connect at IRFM. So, hey, I'm going to send him this record. He's going to play it. IRFM's going to get my tunes. It's going to be cool.
I've heard the name.
It's very good DJ, but I'm expecting that strength.
Yeah.
He hit me back, and he said, okay, start giving me a whole bunch of critique.
Yeah.
So this is this, the bass, the this, the that, the mix, the this, and that. I'm like, here's what my mentality was. I was 21. My thing was, Virgin, if Sizzla did send you a song, if Bone Tequila did send you a song, would you have critiqued it or would you have just played it? That's what I said. I never said it to him. I said it to myself. So he never played it. Another DJ that was local, right, played the song here. I was grateful they're going to be playing my song now. I remember vividly. And then my hand goes up to demonstrate. Richie Spice, Marijuana, played that song. G. Cole played my song. Taurus Riley, She's Royal. So that dip right there, that was what I heard on the radio. I heard Richie Spice up here, clear, clarity, the whole nine. I heard my song, Trash. And then I heard the Taurus Riley, She's Royal. And in the back of my mind, I said, I need to call Chris and apologize. I didn't, because I never really said it to him. I never voiced my displeasure. But I said to myself, oh, that's what you saved me from. You know what I mean? There's quality. And there's certain things that, because you've got a laptop at home and a song, it not ready. Like you said, not everything is ready for airplay. And when you send something to somebody, a lot of times you reaching back out to them and saying, hey, let me give you my opinion on this. You're doing them such a favor. They have no idea. So I understand completely what you mean.
Another thing, though, G. Cole, there are a lot of good artists right here in South Florida. Maybe not in South Florida, in Central Florida, too. Really good songs. And their justice is not what it is, where they're concerned. I have seen, and I'm going to hit on the promoters too. I've seen a number of shows here, and I see the recycling of certain artists coming out of Jamaica to come here to perform, and they pay them big money too. I'm from paying them big money, per diem, hotel accommodation, flight, and they're, in my estimation, better artists right here.
Yeah, a lot of subpar people flying over. Yeah.
You don't have to pay no hotel accommodation, no per diem. They're not asking for that.
And I'm nothing more charges.
All they want for a fair chance to go on stage and expose their ability. There's so many good singers here. Not like before, you know. We have a lot of singers there. Some have migrated. Some are grown right here. Your program is what? Homegrown?
Homegrown, baby. Homegrown.
We have a lot of homegrown. As a matter of fact, I got to give you an example. Recently, they had a show at the Garden. Number of good artists from Jamaica were known. Palm Hall, Lyra Sybils, and Empress Unique performed. There's a gentleman who writes for Palm Hall, Errol Wilson. While Empress Unique, actually when she came off, he called me and he said to me, boy, John T, that lady I can sing, you know.
Yeah.
And the first me I hear her.
Yeah.
That lady that good.
She's right here.
No, Errol didn't say it for a joke.
Right.
He would not have said anything if he wasn't if he wasn't impressed, he wouldn't say a thing.
Right.
But the way the man said it to me, I said, yeah man, she rough, you know, she just need the exposure. She wants to know, John T, that girl, I mean, she hold her one up there a while ago, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
amongst the greats.
Yes, the Palm Hall and the Lear and all those people. Wow. And the man was so impressed.
Wow.
The point I want to make here, there are others here who are just as good. But they don't get the chance to expose the ability to the wider audience. And if we don't really... you and I have a responsibility though, you know. As radio persons, we have a responsibility to continue playing these songs.
Right.
Let them get deaf.
Yeah.
And let them promote. And even critique them on the radio. I do it all the time. I say, listen, promoters, they are joking. They are joking, man.
Yep.
You can't be bringing 5 people from Jamaica. I'm not saying they're not good, but there are good ones here too.
Yeah. Bring 3.
And give them some respect. Don't because they're coming from Jamaica, give them some little meager money.
Yeah.
They have an audience here too.
Yeah.
They have an audience.
The concept of local is what I don't like.
I don't like it because they're not local, you know. They live here, but they're international, musically speaking.
That's what it is. When gentleman performs in Germany, they must say local artist. Them say
exactly.
A gentleman.
He's this gentleman is international. You know? And it's not a disrespect, you know.
You know, it irks me. And speaking of homegrown talent, just to further justify what you're saying, ladies and gentlemen.
Come true, something no one else had ever found a way to do. I've kept the memories one by one since you took me in, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love.
And I'm gonna do like they do in the dance hall. It's a dance hall move, them to pull up from the top. What we do on our radio too. Suzanne Sultry, ladies and gentlemen. The song is called Never Love This Way Again. Go get it.
You looked inside my fantasies and made each one come true. Something no one else had ever found a way to do. I've kept the memories one by one since you took me in, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love this way again, so I'll keep holding on before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
EK Mark, thank you so much.
A fool will lose tomorrow, reaching back for yesterday. I won't turn my head in sorrow if you should go away. I'll stand here and remember just how good it's been, and I know I'll never love this way again. And I know I'll never love this way again, so I'll keep holding on, yes, before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this.
Her name is Suzanne Sultry, ladies and gentlemen, and she's making a classic of her own out of the Dionne Warwick classic, Never Love This Way Again. It's a big tune. It's a big tune. It's a big tune. It's a big tune. Again, we talk about the talent. I'm going to call them the homegrown talent, because that we have a plethora of. And you know what? I have this question that I've been asking a lot of the artists and producers, John T, that pass through. Despite the plethora of talent we have here in the South Florida area, we've got Grammys on the mantelpieces, we've got plaques on the walls, we got a lot of that stuff going on. Why do we struggle to break artists here in South Florida? What do you think?
Well, it's a combination of things, you know. It's really exposure. And not just radio alone. Okay, the question was breaking artists in South Florida?
For South Florida artists, why do we struggle to get a break for our South Florida artists?
Breaking them here or internationally?
Regardless.
Okay. We have to look on it from an international perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Some are the producers are not capable of marketing their product. You might consider yourself a manager, but what do you do as a manager?
Right.
If somebody don't call you and ask you to get an artist to perform, you don't make the necessary arrangement or to market your product. You have a product, market your product.
The team.
You must be able to do that. You can't just be a manager just by this name.
Right.
What can you do? What do you do? For instance, okay, respect is due to Jonah Marie. She has been doing a fantastic job in marketing her product. Mm-hmm. But how many people we can say who are managers who really market their product?
Right,
and I admire her for that. She knows what she's doing in terms of marketing her product.
Yes, she does.
But we need to see more people.
Yeah.
Just don't tell a person, okay, let me manage you. Okay, yes. Mm-hmm. For instance, okay, you go on a tour. You go outside the United States. Mm-hmm. What is your responsibility as a manager? What do you do for you? First of all, you have to make sure that the meal, because some people don't eat certain things. Mm-hmm. So these are some of the things that are required as a manager to make sure that the person is fed well.
Right.
In terms of maybe the person's health.
Mm-hmm.
The number of issues wherever the person is going to stay got to be comfortable. But apart from that, before you go to these places, you should be able to get business for this person. You should be able to market the product on an international scene, whether it's in Europe or in Japan. You have to have contacts. Mm-hmm. If you can't do all those things, don't be the manager for anybody. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't fool yourself.
No matter for your cousin.
Don't fool yourself. So that's one of the ways if you're going to really break someone. Just don't have the name. Mm-hmm. You must understand the game.
it is amazing because I see the plethora of talent here.
Yeah,
You know?
of talents.
Ridiculous. And even from a production standpoint, I tell people all the time, we take so much for granted. A lot of times people go to a Blue Martini, they go to these little venues and they're enjoying some music in the background while drinking a drink, not realizing that there's about 4 or 5 Grammys on the stage right now performing for you. So we do have the talent here, but it is something that I always wonder about who, and I'm gonna put some of it on the artist too, because originally when I started this question, I was, for lack of a better word, sheltering the artists until having to deal with a lot of the artists. The thing is, for this business, is from my standpoint, is that talent is necessary. Doesn't necessarily need to be the biggest part. It's the biggest prerequisite. You mentioned the management, all right? Even if management is not an expert in marketing, you find that person.
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer in let the professionals do what they do. You see, putting a TV on the wall is not my avenue of expertise. You know, somebody else could have put it up there in 10 minutes. It took me about 4 hours. You know what I mean? Find the experts. Let the experts do what they do. So do what you do. Find the experts to do what, so the artists can do what they do best, which is be an artist. So there's a bunch of different things, but I always want to find out from those people on the forefront as to what they think the reason is. The business of music and reggae music and of radio continues to grow. And it's evolved a lot, not just from a technological standpoint, but the overall business operations of radio. And you mentioned you still have that love, that passion for it. What is it about radio? And when I say radio, I'm talking about the sphere, what you do, the connection you have with the people. What is it about that keeps you? Because I do know that there's levels of frustrations with it too. You know, with every good, there's a pros and the cons. What keeps John T from saying, "Yo, no, take this here, man"? Oh my God,
The love of the people.
the people.
Yeah, the people. The appreciation that they show.
Right.
When you go to places and people get to know who you are, and they can come to you and show their appreciation.
Wow.
It's not just by telephone calls, because what some of the calls do is a sweet mouth, give a nice talk.
Forget them thing playing.
Yes. Or they want to send greetings.
Greetings to my family in the UK.
Yes. My son, my grandson having a birthday today, or my girlfriend. But when you go to functions and people walk up to you and say, "Boy, you know, I'm glad I happened to see what you look like."
Right.
To put a name with a voice. But I really appreciate you going to work in the mornings or coming off a night shift. You keep me going. No, that is something special.
Wow.
When a person can go out of his or her way to approach you, to say that to you and say, "Keep up the good work." And that's all the person wants to say to you.
Nothing else.
So you have that feeling of appreciation. You know, when you constantly hear that, you know, you hear it all the time, and you are absent from the radio for a week or a few days, and you might not get a call at the station, but somebody sees you on the road and know you and say, "What happened to you, boy? I miss you, man.
Wow.
I don't hear no sports talk. I don't hear no political talk. I don't hear this. I don't hear that." Because some things that you do, others might not do it.
Right.
And when people show appreciation for you, it gives you that feeling.
Right. Wow.
And that's what has kept me. The love and appreciation people have really demonstrated to me.
I dig that. I feel like your gratitude begins where your sense of entitlement ends.
Yeah.
And I think in this day and age where people are so accustomed to, you know, there being other things on the radio, they're not entitled to what you do, but they're appreciative of what you do. And that's a great thing.
You see, G. Cole, I look back and see where I started. And for me I've been there for this long continuously. It says a lot. Not sure enough. It says a lot because people keep on calling you, want to advertise, and they want it on your show, or they ask you to MC a function. It's appreciation.
Right.
It's appreciation and something that they see in you that they like.
Yeah.
You know, so
And outside of that, you know, the like is one thing. I like a lot of people that I won't do business with. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's a testament also to how you do what you do. Because when somebody chooses to advertise with you, for argument's sake, what they're doing is trusting that what you do so well that you can help my business.
Amen to that. Because people are not going to throw away their money.
No, not in this day and age.
I mean, I have advertisers who have been advertising me for as long as I've been there.
Wow.
I can name so many of them.
Wow.
Who would never leave, and if they don't hear a commercial, I say, well, I don't hear a commercial this morning.
Wow.
Because they know they are getting something
Yeah.
for their money.
Yeah.
So that is it's a very important point that you just made a while ago.
It's way more than music.
Yeah. So when people can spend their money and they receive, they know what they're getting for the money. It is so important.
Right.
So important. People put it on shows, and the place is packed. And when you call a number that they might give and say, "Where did you hear the commercial?" And they mention your show, that is something else, you know.
You know what's amazing? What I find amazing is this. We talk about archaic, right? We talk about stuff like things being dated, right? The whole concept of AM, for example. I know WAVS has an FM feed now, but the whole concept of AM radio, right? I was having a conversation with somebody. They did an event recently. That was a fairly successful event, you know. And at the end of the event, when I had the conversation with them, young people too. So because people would assume that your client base is probably, you know what I mean? A certain age group. But this person was not. And I was amazed when they started talking to me and let me know that, we advertise with everybody, and the effective one, man, you have to go to WAVS. You got to go to WAVS. And it jogged me, because I was saying to myself, really? A lot of people who don't necessarily do the business side of it, but I've had conversations with them, they would assume that the youngster hip station with the mixes are going all day long is the way to go. It goes back to what you said. There's our formula.
It is. I got to give an example about young people, and I know they gravitate to the sound of FM because the clarity, it's crisper sound. AM reach audience, AM signal goes over the water. If you were to go to Freeport or Nassau, some of the big FM stations here, you can't hear them there. AM band rides the waves.
Right.
The FM does not. So as much as it's a crisper sound, it does not go as far.
Doesn't travel as far as AM.
The strongest station in South Florida is 610 AM.
Wow.
This controversial talk host, he's on it. Rush Limbaugh. That's the strongest station. You can hear all the way that you can't hear at 105 or 99 Jam.
Wow.
All the way. But music sounds much better on FM. It's not all about it. It's crisper sound. But if you have a format that others don't have, people have a choice.
Yeah. FM, AM, you can create a BM. It's still, the format is what's important.
And the presenters also make a difference. Presenters, you should be able to present your program maybe that if they happen to switch and listen to you, they want to stay.
Right.
They want to stay. So as much as it's AM and FM, which is frequency modulation, if they happen to switch for whatever reason it is, let's say you're giving away a ticket, I mentioned earlier on, and somebody calls their friends and says, listen, I want to listen to the program when you call. I'm going to call too. I want everybody to call because we have to win a ticket here. Once they turn on and it's something that they hear that they enjoy, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
If they don't hear it anywhere else.
Right. That is true.
They're going to come back.
That is, again, goes back to professionalism. It goes back to format. See, the thing is this. In this day and age, people resent structure, you know. I say it with no apology. I'm a corporate guy. I can't do business with certain people. Shoot, I can't even play a game with certain people because I need structure, you know? And I think it is very important to have that. And I think that's what somebody like yourself, that's what something like WAVS, that's what, and AM has that vintage vibe. AM to me, you know what? AM to me is like vinyl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It has that vintage vibe. But at the end of the day, I think it's so much more than the music. Yes, the music is crisp on the FM feed, on the FM band, but it's so much more. It's so much more to it. Now, we always ask people, what do you love? You know what I mean? What keeps you going and so forth? What can you not stand?
Let me tell you. Okay, let me just go straight. I'm gonna go right back to the music. But there are two things I can't stand.
Yeah.
Earlier, and I'm gonna deal with some of my radio personalities first. One Vex, I call him Shaggy. Please talk good on radio. Talk good, man. Oh, Jesus. No, there isn't anything wrong in trying to do things better. What is wrong when doing the right thing? No, I really have some colleagues when I hear them on the radio, I'm ashamed, you know.
Wow.
I'm really ashamed.
Right.
Because they have no intention of improvement or improving themselves. I'm really embarrassed because they are so complacent because of few telephone calls and not realizing there are some people actually laughing at you and not with you.
With you, wow.
And there's a big difference. And I have some of my colleagues who already get carried away. Somebody called on the radio and them laughing at you. And don't even realize now laughing at you. But in everything you can improve. Anything that you do,
right.
Any kind of profession, even if you become a doctor, you don't become an expert right away.
Right.
If you are in radio, like every other profession, try to get better as the days go by. Try and get... I mean, then the things that I can do now, I never knew those things. When I listen to people like from Winston Barnes and Margaret, I learned a lot of things.
Wow.
I try to learn from people who know more than I do. But you have so many stars now that there's no room for improvement because they are stars already.
Yeah. Created their own stardom.
Yeah. And that's those are some of my disappointments.
Right.
And I would touch on the music too. Please, make some good music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't just go in your bathroom or the back of your room and your computer, you find a rhythm and you off key, rhythm gone one side and you gone another side.
Right.
Talk to someone who knows the thing, who can correct you. And if you really love it, if you really love the business, if you love the music, try and do better.
You want to learn to do it right.
Don't send a CD come to the station because you want your friend hear your name on the radio or your girlfriend or your wife. No, that's not what we're all about.
That's not what this thing is about.
No.
Wow.
If you think you can sing, go and talk to a good producer who can produce you. Don't give me no pan song and expect me to play it. Listen.
Do they come up to you when you don't play it and say, "Oh, John T, you're not playing"?
No, they call me.
They call you.
No, one somebody approached me inside the garden one night,
Right.
and he said to me, "Boy, I said, my son come and say, well, I'm not hear you play it, star." I say, whenever you have a good song, I'll play it. And then he made reference to another announcer who plays it. I said, let me just explain to you now. See my program, a morning show, like a breakfast. And I really don't serve oxtail for breakfast, you know. Some of the songs them just too rough.
Too oily. Too fat, yeah. Wow.
But I said, I'm just trying to tell you that when you give me a good song, I will play.
Got you.
There's another guy who thinks he can sing. Right. I just tell him straight, that's a boss man. Produce, don't sing.
And you're thinking this.
I say,
wow.
If you want to vex me, you vex me, but consider me your friend.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to laugh at you. You can't sing.
Yeah.
Listen, G-Code, I can't sing.
Right.
I'm not going to try it.
But at least you know.
I know I can't sing.
And regardless of what your brethren say, you will not be fooled.
It's not a lot of it, but I can't do it.
But in your bathroom, you're the man, though.
God, yes, man. Listen me. You want to hear me sing? Make the time cold and I put on a warm water and hear me sing. That's the only place I will sing.
You said the acoustics are just on point.
Oh, man, with the water, man.
Yeah. You're on key until somebody else hear you.
Some people just love singing. No, man. God gives everyone a talent.
Right.
Some are writers. Some are singers. Every one of us. Some are born to be carpenters and masons and so on.
Right.
God gives everyone a talent. You must find your talent.
Yeah.
Because you can sing from thy kingdom come. If you don't have it, it's not going to work. No,
Wow.
This is not no buck up thing, you know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I used to say to a friend of mine, I said, every doctor that I know right now, they might not have known it, but I knew, even when we were 4 years old, that dude there is on the way to be a doctor, right? Or a pilot. Everybody.
Or a lawyer.
Or a lawyer. You know it. Yeah. So that dude right there was not on his way to be a singer. No, and it's not going to change at 30 years old.
Leave it alone.
It is amazing because again, I'm not like I say it, no shame in my game. I'm not a DJ. And I say it from the standpoint of giving respect to the DJs because what they do, I can't do. It's not my thing.
It's an art.
It's an art form.
It's an art. And I respect every DJ who can hold an audience in a nightclub and make them dance and enjoy themselves. Because I got to places and I said, why, I couldn't do it.
I could not.
I know the songs, but the way they play it, me couldn't.
Them give life to.
They have no commercials in between.
And no sports.
No newscast. So when I select, I picked out a few DJs earlier on.
Right.
No, man, it's respect that these people have earned, you know, when I listen to them.
Yeah.
They have earned my respect.
Wow.
And there are others. There are quite a number of other DJs. But because I've been hearing these people in recent times, regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. My DJ really at TC, God knows.
TC's my go-to guy, especially for events
He didn't even know that. I've never even said it to him.
Well, I'm a year to that. TC.
So listen now. It's not that because the man is my personal friend I'm bigging him up.
Yeah.
I'm bigging up the man because the man is good.
He's good.
Mikey Bike is another good DJ. But when you look at the combination of a person who plays it and speaks well, no, man, that is my weakness, you know.
TC have it.
Yeah, man, he has it.
And he reads an audience well because the thing about TC pretty much is
No, man,
TC
he's my number one DJ.
That's my guy. If I'm having...
Sira is good too.
Sira is good. Yeah. TC has played... My brother, my mother, he passed away, right? You just need somebody for, I can bring TC to that. If it's a wedding, TC will play.
No, man, no, he's good. He's very versatile.
Very.
Yeah. And he knows his music too.
He has a vast knowledge of the music. And don't get me wrong, and we're going to shell down the dancehall too.
That's what I'm telling you. He's a versatile guy.
Very.
Yeah, he can, any kind of situation.
He can make it happen.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is talking about the music. Here is talking about the production. I'm going to drop one more for you. This one is Wifey Type. It is Shamika, all right? Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is homegrown.
Shamika. As far as I can see, you never have to worry about my loyalty. I'm by your side, baby. And if you look on your right there I will be. You will never find someone to hold you.
Blessings, Marlon. Thanks for joining.
No one can.
Melody, much love, much love, much love.
I'm your girl, you are my man. I'm just a wife. I never leave you alone.
Zimmo, what's good? Thanks for joining the party.
Loving every night.
We need to get you inside the studio here really soon.
Yeah, I'm just a wife. I'll always be there for you. And when you need me, babe, I'm only one call away. Once in a lifetime, you will ever find a love like this. Someone to love and hold and cherish, never one like this. Someone who will fight for you like a warrior, be there for you like your crew. There is nothing in this world that I would ever do. I'm just a wife type. I never leave you lonely. I give you loving every night and day, baby. Yeah, I'm just a wife.
The song's called Wifey Type. The artist is Shamika, B Will Productions. Big tune. I dig it. Again, you see me holding up the magazine. It is Island Origins, all right? And of course, we're this year's The Taste the Islands Experience. I'll probably be down there getting my taste on and enjoying the experience. It was really nice for the past couple of years. And of course, they're always growing. So I'm really interested in seeing what's going on this year. We got the producers in the house, Zemrai, producing some big records. Zimma, one of them people who I like is honesty, when it comes to the music.
He's an outstanding guy,
Yeah.
But, you know, well, I want to go back to our conversation earlier. You're good, you know. It's not too many people know that I was born at Sawyer's Market.
Gotta do what we gotta do, John T. I'm telling you, man.
Some good journalistic research you did there, man.
You know, I say to people all the time, I have the luxury of being curating the show.
I'm impressed.
I appreciate it. I talk to the people who are interested in it. It's easy to go find that. You know, sometimes if you're not really interested in it.
Very, very impressed.
You know, when you're not interested, I don't even know that there's a teenage name. So John, you say, right? So when they're not interested. But...
You know, maybe something that was not brought out earlier on. The tea. You know what the tea is for?
No, tell me.
My father was a very smart man, you know.
Yeah.
When I was born, my father looked at me and said, Jesus, he has a lot of his mother's part of the family name, you know. He looks so much like his uncle. Now, my mother's maiden name is Terrell, Daphne Terrell. My father calls me John Terrell Hodson.
Wow.
So I have my mother's maiden name
as a middle name.
Wow,
that's cool.
And I have his father's. I am from both of them. I have both names.
Wow.
I'm so proud of my father.
Pops, that is dope.
Yeah.
That's people don't do that too often.
And the T actually started in high school because they couldn't pronounce my last name.
So that's John T.
Yes, because Hodgso, which is one of those surnames in Jamaica, which is not really popular. My grandfather is actually from Scotland.
Right.
You have a lot of Hodson in Jamaica.
Right.
But not Hodgson. Anyone who's in Jamaica with that name is a family member.
Right.
Because there were two brothers who came from Scotland. One went to St. Elizabeth and one went to Trelawney.
Right.
So in high school, they used to mispronounce my name. Some call me even Hodgson. Hodgson.
Violate the thing.
So,
wow.
Mr. Gone bad man. Don't call me no Hodgson.
So don't mispronounce my thing.
So when I became the captain of the cricket team, and I had this power, I said, if you can't call my last name, find another name.
Right.
So one of the guys said, you know what? Call him John T, man. That's easy.
Right.
So then anyone who went to high school with me,
right,
would know me as John.
So that name's coming from way back. That's not a radio name.
No. So they don't even remember my last name. Some of my schoolmates don't even remember my last name.
Wow. Just John
They
T.
all know me as John T from school days.
Right.
Every one of them.
So if you never have the T-net right now, they wouldn't find it on social media?
Maybe not. As a matter of fact, somebody saw me on the Facebook one day, and the question was, is this the same John T who was in high school? When I looked at it, I said, oh, I know this guy.
Yeah.
They don't remember the last name, but it's a John
T.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big up, Pops. That was a good call.
Yeah.
That was a good call. That was a great call, as a matter of fact. There's politics and everything. There's politics in radio. You can't get away from it. But what I always wonder is this: when you're on radio, right? We're all human beings. I tell people all the time, I'm not a DJ, so if you send me the music and it's what's in my headphones, that's what I share with people. If it's not something I normally listen to my headphones, I'm probably not gonna play it. Do you think that your personal taste in music should affect what you play on air? Or it's just because here's the deal: you may hear a song from a production standpoint, it's like the production's good, you know what I mean. You could hear that it may be a hit in some formats, but it's just not my thing. You know what I mean? Do you think, as an on-air personality or a radio personality, your personal taste should dictate what you play?
It's a very good question. You know, I have played songs that I don't necessarily like, but the quality is still good. A number of times I've played songs. For instance, I'm not a soca fan, but I put a mix in there because I know a lot of people love soca.
Right.
Unfortunately, in recent times, we have not been getting the amount of soca that we should have been getting from out of the rest of the Caribbean islands. But we find soca to play because not just Trinidadians and Guyanese and Bajans love soca, but Jamaicans do.
Love, yeah.
But no, man, I've played songs that not my thing.
Right.
But I find a way to fit into my music format.
Right, because you're catering to an audience.
Exactly. The song you might not like, other people might like it. What I don't play is the kind of production that is not up to standard.
Right.
But there are songs that don't really touch me. But when you listen to the brush action, the arrangement and the singing, ooh, yeah, I get to play.
So it's not your taste, but it's properly done.
Yeah, it's exactly. It is done properly.
I got you.
You understand? And I'm sure other announcers can attest to that, that they play songs because of you don't. You have an audience that will like all kind of songs. You know, the first time I heard Shaggy song Bombastic, I said, what kind of fool song this?
I've said that about Asha Ballard.
But you know, when I listened to the arrangement, it was so catchy and stuff, and it's not something that was not airworthy.
Right.
And then a lot of youngsters thought, I want to hear the song Bombastic. To me, the original Bombastic man is really Tiger.
Right. True.
So
True.
When Shaggy came out, this Bombastic thunder, I said, what is fool song? But they loved it. They got him a Grammy.
And it was quality.
Yeah,
production.
exactly. Quality production.
Yeah.
I never really liked it.
Yeah.
But it grew on me.
Right.
It grew on me. And since then, Shaggy has become one of my favorite DJs.
And if the quality wasn't good, it would have never grown.
No, the quality was there. It's just that never like...
It just wasn't your taste.
No. But it grew on me. But if the quality wasn't there, maybe it wouldn't reach... It would have not reached where it got.
Right.
Yeah, but Shaggy has been putting out some really quality stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Very comical in some of the things that he's been saying.
But...
You know, and it's kind of close. He gets to the border at times, but he knows...
Tongue-in-cheek, he comes
yeah, but he knows not to cross the border,
Right.
but close to the border
Yep,
in terms
yep.
of the lyrical contents. Yeah, man. Shaggy's a fantastic guy.
He is, and still performs right now like he's not a big artist. That's what I like about an artist like Shaggy. We have a lot of producers, young artists, musicians, and so forth that watch the program. Had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I've had it with many of them. Music, like anything else, is a product. If you don't promote the product, it's not gonna way. You will be the dopest artist you have a pregnant hard drive, pregnant with bad tune, but it's just haven't gone nowhere. Now, when I say you need to promote your song, they start automatically equating to payola, right? Which is the just standard, here's some money, play that tune for me, right? For the masses that don't have a proper grasp on it, differentiate for me promotion versus payola.
Example, I do a segment every Friday morning between 8:05 and 8:20. You could say it's a paid advertisement, compliments of Tad's Records. It's paid for. That's not payola.
That's a promotion.
It's promoting his studio or his label. His label. I do the same for him on a Monday morning, 6 to 7. 1 hour. I call it 1 hour of music power. That's not payola. He's paying to have his thing promoted.
Right.
Is a different thing from a man give you money and say, boy, I play a tune of you. A different thing that. But that same person who gives you the money to play a song, you can also make a commercial.
Exactly.
You can also say, boy, John, I have an album, you know, and I want to promote this album. I want to run 2 or 3 spots a week. You write up a contract. He gives you the money. You take it to the authorities. It is put on your program to be played at a certain time. So now you know, as the announcer, some people call themselves DJ, this man is paying a certain amount of money for his album to be promoted like a commercial. No, it's only in you to play the song.
Right.
Put it on regular rotation.
Right.
If the song is good enough.
If it's not, then it is what it is.
Because if you really come to me and you say you want to promote your song, you know, and I don't think it's ready, you know.
You're not it.
I'm going to say to you, say, boss man, I can do a commercial for you, you know, but I don't guarantee you don't play, you know. I will tell you that up front. So it's for you to decide whether you just want to run the commercial or you expected me to put your song on rotation.
Right.
Because if it's not up to what I think it's my standard on my program, you're not going to have it on rotation. So I'm going to warn you first.
Right. You can buy a commercial.
You can run a commercial and say, the song by G. Cole is now available at Rainbow. It's available at Rainbow. It's available at whichever.
iTunes everywhere.
iTunes everywhere.
Right.
Go to iTunes, go to Amazon.com, iTunes, and get this new album. It's hot. Or go to Rainbow or VP and pick it up.
Yeah.
You can do that. I can't stop from doing it. It's a commercial.
Yeah.
So that's all I would advise to do it. But
Right.
if I don't think it's really ready, I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
And people must learn to accept honesty though, you know.
Yeah.
Because you are in the business for a long time and you have listened to a number of recordings and you have an idea. And you're about listening ear and you know what sounds good for what does sound good, whether it is mixed properly, done properly. And if you're gonna give that person advice and say something wrong, your voice is too low or the rhythm, I think you need to go back in the studio. I said, no man, it's all right. If we don't want to appreciate your constructive criticism, that's too bad, Too bad.
Get it every day. Get every day. I just like to establish that because I'm having my goal. I definitely want to do as much as I can for the artists, to the point where that's half the reason I relocated even here. Yeah. To the point where we can do the same thing, create these promotions, create the jingles, create the commercials for them, and even allow them it's in the back there, but that's a studio vocal mic. Bring it to the forefront. You can do a live performance. You know what I mean? All in the name of the promotion, so we can create a promotion vehicle, a proper promotional vehicle for them. But again, I do reserve the right, like you said. I've said it over and over. I know you're willing to pay for certain things, but that one day I can't really stand by it because
no. But if you want to advertise, it's up to you.
Then it's different. Yeah. An ad is an ad.
Yeah.
I
don't bring me no money and tell me say it was played for you.
Right.
No,
you're not gonna work that way then.
No. I'm gonna embarrass you. Don't do that.
I love it. John T, it's about that time for us, and let me first of all say it was a very
I really enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. As I have not done this in a long time, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you inviting me here.
Pleasure.
I like your little studio, well organized.
Pleasure.
I tell you, up to date microphone.
Easy. 30 years, ladies and gentlemen, 33 years in the biz. That's why we can drop the knowledge and the jewels.
Before I go, I have to give God thanks for the health, the strength.
Yes.
And to continue doing what He wants me to do, because I could not have done this without God's grace.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I am a Christian-minded person, not just to go to church, but I am a strong believer in my faith. I'm a God-fearing person. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. And God has kept me over the years. I come from the days of being a cop, being shot at so many times. And I'm here tonight to talk to you. So I have to give God thanks for everything that He has done for me in my life.
I love it.
And thanks for inviting me. More blessings to you, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. On behalf of me and the listeners, I must keep inspiring, because whether a lot of times when we do what we do, sometimes it's a thankless job. You do say some people will come up, but for the amount of people you inspire, a minuscule amount will come up and say that. So a lot of times when you're doing what you're doing, you're just doing it because it's what you do on a daily basis, but it inspires so many, including myself and others. It is people like yourself and others who do what you do in that way that gives us, I say, you know what, maybe we should go on the microphone too, because somebody out there is doing it the right way. So I appreciate it. I know a ton load of people out there appreciate it. Drop some social media info or however you want the masses to be able to reach out to you. I know you're on WAVS 1170 Monday through Friday.
Yeah, Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. until 10. Actually, on a Monday, I start from 6 because I have this 1 hour sponsored program by TAD. So on a Monday, I start at 6 and goes right back until 10.
Gotcha. And for those people who are on John T's live feed and saying, hey, John, he's not just ignoring you. He's constructing the log. All right, the log has got to be done. Yeah. I want to thank everybody that's logged in from all across the globe, listening in. All those people sticking in with us, all the people overseas that's listening right now on Royal Zion Highness Radio. I appreciate you. We're going to get out of here with this one. This one is Rain All Night, King Charles. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is homegrown.
Please wait up for me, baby. I'm coming over to see you right now. Hey, lady, oh lady, don't fall asleep. I've got to see you tonight. Baby, oh baby, I'm on my way. We're gonna play all night. I'm anxious to see.
My name is G. Cole, and this is Homegrown.